Have you ever noticed how some women seem to fall for a man almost instantly while others take their time, weeks, even months before truly opening up? Is it all about chemistry, or is there something deeper at play? The truth is, a woman's feelings don't follow a fixed timeline, but they do follow a pattern. What actually makes her cross that invisible line between curiosity and emotional attachment? And more importantly, how can you recognize when it's happening? Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of attraction and the Stoic mindset that keeps you grounded while fostering real emotional connection. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll see things from a whole new perspective. Let's get started. No, one, it starts with a spark. Attraction is instant, but real feelings take time. The first moment she notices you, she might be drawn to your confidence, your energy, or the way you carry yourself. Maybe it's your voice, your posture, or the way you remain unbothered in a room full of people. But here's the mistake many men make. They think attraction is the same as emotional connection. It's not. A woman might find you intriguing, but that doesn't mean she's emotionally invested. Attraction is like a flicker of interest. It catches her attention, but it doesn't hold her heart. Feelings, on the other hand, are built over time. They don't happen overnight, and they don't happen because of a single grand gesture. A woman develops feelings when she feels safe with you, when she respects you, and when she starts to see you as someone she can trust with her emotions. And this process, it's slow, unpredictable, and entirely dependent on how consistent you are. Think about it like this: attraction is the spark, but feelings are the fire. And fire doesn't just appear. It needs fuel, it needs repeated exposure. To warmth, to consistency, to depth. A woman needs to see that you're not just putting on a show, that your confidence isn't fragile, and that your presence in her life is steady, not fleeting. It might take weeks, months, or even longer for her feelings to deepen. And that's something you can't rush. A Stoic man understands this. He doesn't get lost in the highs of early attraction or frustrated when things don't move as fast as he wants. He embraces the process, knowing that emotions, especially deep ones, can't be forced. He focuses on what he can control: his own behavior, his own emotional discipline, and his ability to be present without being needy. He doesn't seek to manipulate her emotions or speed up the process. He simply lives in a way that makes her feel naturally drawn to him over time. A woman may be intrigued by a man's charm, but she falls for his character. If you're only focused on making her like you quickly, you'll likely lose her just as fast. But if you embody patience, self-respect, and emotional stability, she starts to associate you with something rare, someone she can count on, someone who isn't just there for a moment, but for the long run. So instead of asking, how long will it take for her to develop feelings, shift your focus. Ask yourself, am I the kind of man she would want to develop feelings for? Because when you become that kind of man, time takes care of the rest. No to getting curious about you. Once a woman finds you attractive, she starts to wonder about you. This is where her curiosity kicks in. She watches how you interact with others, how you handle yourself in different situations, and whether your confidence is real or just an act. But attraction alone isn't enough. It's just the spark. Developing feelings takes time, and it doesn't happen in a straight line. In the beginning, she might find herself drawn to your presence, but feelings don't fully take root until she sees consistency. It's in the way you respond to challenges, how you handle setbacks, and whether you remain grounded in who you are. A woman may feel excitement in the first few encounters, but deeper emotions form through repeated experiences. When she sees how you move through life, not just how you act in the moment. Think about it like this: if a man is easily swayed by every small inconvenience, or by a woman's validation, she will sense that women are highly intuitive. They can pick up on a man's energy, his intentions, and whether his confidence is something solid or just a performance. This is why many women don't develop strong feelings immediately. It's a process of observing, testing, and slowly building trust. A Stoic man, however, doesn't rush this process. He understands that emotions, like anything valuable, take time to develop. He does not seek instant gratification, nor does he try to force a connection. He knows that feelings grow, not because of grand gestures or excessive effort, but through quiet consistency. He is focused on his path, his growth, and his own self-mastery. And that makes him compelling. Imagine two men. One constantly chases a woman's attention, over-texting, over-explaining, and constantly needing reassurance. The other, he is present, but not overbearing. He lets things unfold naturally, showing through his actions rather than words that he is a man of substance. Who do you think she will develop feelings for? Over time, a woman's emotions don't deepen simply because a man is available. They grow when she sees that he is steady, dependable, and unapologetically himself. The key is patience. Let things unfold. If she's meant to develop feelings for you, it won't be because you tried to make her. It'll be because you showed her over time that you're the kind of man she can't help but admire. Now take a moment to reflect. Have you ever noticed how a woman's curiosity builds when she starts to see you differently? Not because you're chasing her, but because you're simply living with purpose. Attraction may spark interest, but it's consistency and self-assuredness that truly deepen emotions. So what do you think? Have you ever experienced this shift in someone's feelings toward you? Drop your thoughts in the comments, or if you're short on time, just type "patience wins in the end." Let's start a conversation. No. 3 feeling safe around you. Here's something most men overlook. Before a woman can develop deep feelings, she needs to feel emotionally safe around you. Now, I know some guys assume that attraction alone is enough, but let's be real, attraction might spark interest, but it's not what makes her fall for you. Feelings take time to grow, and they only take root in a space where she feels secure both emotionally and mentally. Think about it. Would you ever fully open up to someone if you weren't sure they had your back? Of course not. Women are no different. Emotional safety doesn't mean being her therapist or fixing her problems. It means being consistent, reliable, and steady. It means she can express herself without fear of judgment. It means she sees that you don't let small things shake you. And this is where many men fumble. They think grand gestures or sweet words will fast-track her emotions. But words mean nothing if your actions show instability. If one day you're calm and understanding, and the next you're reactive and insecure, she will hesitate to trust you with her emotions. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Women naturally look for emotional resilience in a man. She wants to see that you are not easily thrown off balance, that your sense of self is not dictated by fleeting emotions. A man who is ruled by his impulses, who reacts hastily to every inconvenience, signals instability, and instability doesn't invite trust. This is the paradox. The more you try to rush her emotions, the longer it will take for her to develop them. But if you provide a steady presence, if you focus on being a man she can rely on, without needing constant reassurance, her feelings will grow in ways you can't predict. No, for trust takes time. Attraction is quick, but trust, that's something that is earned, not given freely. A woman may be drawn to you at first, curious about your energy, intrigued by the way you carry yourself. But feelings don't develop overnight. Real emotions take time to grow because they require a foundation of trust, respect, and consistency. She's not just looking at who you are in the moment. She's watching how you handle yourself over time. Are you the same man today as you were last week? Do your actions match your words, or do you shift depending on convenience? Think about it like this: a spark might light a fire, but it won't keep it burning without steady fuel. If you're unpredictable, if your words say one thing, but your actions suggest another, she won't feel safe enough to let her emotions deepen. Stoicism teaches us that true character is revealed in consistency, in how we respond to challenges, in how we uphold our values, regardless of the circumstances. A woman picks up on this. Whether you react impulsively or remain grounded, whether you seek validation or move with quiet confidence. Trust is built through predictability, not in a boring way, but in the sense that she knows where she stands with you. If she's constantly guessing how you feel, wondering if you mean what you say, she hesitates to open up. Feelings flourish in emotional security, not in uncertainty. Imagine a woman who starts seeing a man who texts her daily, makes plans, and follows through. Until one day he just stops. No explanation, no reason. Instantly doubt creeps in. Was it real? Was he just playing a role? But if he shows up consistently, with his words and actions aligned, she starts to feel safe. She trusts. And from that trust, her emotions grow. Developing feelings isn't about dramatic gestures or grand statements. It's about the small, steady moments where she realizes this man is who he says he is. That's when she begins to truly invest in you, not just with her time, but with her heart. Now take a moment to think about your own experiences in relationships. How has consistency shaped your connection with someone? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below, sharing your reflections, or simply leave. Trust is built through consistency. If this resonates with you, let's keep the conversation going. No. 5. When the connection grows. At some point, if things are going well, she will begin to feel a deeper connection. It won't just be about looks or chemistry anymore. It will be about how you make her feel emotionally. And that takes time. A woman doesn't just wake up one day with deep feelings. For someone, feelings develop gradually, often in ways even she might not fully realize at first. They grow through trust, consistency, and the emotion she experiences when she's around you. It's in the little moments. How you listen to her when she talks, how you respond when she's vulnerable, how safe she feels when she's with you. This is where conversations become meaningful, where she feels like you understand her, not just want her, where she can talk to you about things that truly matter. A woman doesn't fall for a man who is just present. She falls for the man who makes her feel seen. A man who only relies on surface-level attraction won't sustain this connection. Looks fade, excitement wears off. And if there's nothing beneath that, the connection dissolves. But a Stoic man offers something deeper. He makes her think, he challenges her in the right way. And he doesn't just entertain, he inspires. Think about it. A woman is drawn to a man who stands firm, not one who wavers at every little emotional storm. She respects the man who doesn't react impulsively, but instead moves with purpose. When she sees that you don't need her validation to feel worthy, that's when she starts to feel something real. Why? Because security breeds attraction. A Stoic man doesn't chase her approval. He offers her a steady presence, one that allows her to open up and feel safe enough to invest emotionally. It's not about playing games or forcing feelings. It's about being the kind of man who naturally evokes them. Over time, maybe at first she's just intrigued by you. Then she starts to admire you. Eventually, she realizes she misses you when you're not around. That's when feelings take root. But only if you've given her something worth feeling for. No. 6. Distance makes things clear. Ironically, one of the biggest accelerators of feelings is distance. If a woman enjoys your presence, but doesn't miss you when you're gone, her feelings won't deepen. But if she finds herself thinking about you, wondering what you're doing, that's when emotions grow. That's when something shifts inside her. And she starts to realize that your presence is something she craves, not just something she enjoys in the moment. Many men make the mistake of always being too available. They think that constantly texting, Calling or planning meetups will make her like them more, but real attraction needs space to develop. A woman needs time to process how she feels, to wonder about you, to feel a slight pang of longing when you're not around. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding human nature. People don't value what is always readily available. If she knows you'll always be there, always responding instantly, always making yourself an option, then where's the excitement? Where's the emotional buildup? Think about it like a favorite song. The more you hear it, the more familiar it becomes. And eventually, it stops feeling special. But if you don't hear it for a while, when it finally plays again, it hits differently, you appreciate it more. The same principle applies to attraction. When you create just enough space for her to wonder about you, she begins to attach emotions to your absence. She starts to miss you, to question what her life feels like without you in it. And that's where feelings truly start to take root. From a Stoic perspective, this aligns with the idea of detachment and patience. You cannot force someone to feel a certain way, nor should you seek validation through constant interaction. A man who understands his value doesn't chase affection. He allows it to develop naturally. He remains centered, unbothered by whether emotions surface quickly or take time. He knows that what's meant to be will unfold, as it should, without force or desperation. Feelings don't grow when everything is predictable and easy. They grow in the spaces between interactions, in the quiet moments where she reflects on you, in the contrast between presence and absence. If she never has the chance to miss you, how can she ever realize how much she wants you? If you've made it this far, you probably already see the power of distance in cultivating real attraction. Now take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Have you noticed how space can make someone miss you and deepen their feelings? Share your thoughts in the comments below, or simply leave the sentence, "Space helps the connection grow," to let us know you're reflecting on this concept. I'd love to hear what you think. No. 7. She starts investing in you. Once a woman starts developing feelings, she will naturally begin to invest in you. This can be in small ways, checking in on you, asking about your day, or making time for you. These subtle actions signal that you're becoming someone she values, someone she sees as more than just another option. But here's the truth: feelings don't develop overnight. Attraction may be instant, but emotional connection, that takes time. Many men at this stage make the mistake of rushing the process. They get excited and start over-texting, over-complimenting, and over-chasing. And in doing so, they weaken the very attraction that was beginning to grow. Imagine a fire. You don't pour gasoline on it the moment it starts to spark, or you risk burning it out too quickly. Instead, you let it build steadily, giving it air, allowing it to catch naturally. Feelings work the same way. A woman needs space to feel, to miss, to wonder. If you're always there, constantly seeking her attention, she won't have the opportunity to truly appreciate you. A Stoic man understands this. He remains steady. He doesn't change his rhythm. Just because a woman is showing more interest, he continues being the same man he was from the start. Consistent, calm, and composed. This stability is magnetic. When a woman senses that a man is not desperate for her validation, but instead content in his own presence, she feels even more drawn to him. Think about Marcus Aurelius, who wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." The same applies to attraction. You cannot control how fast or slow a woman develops feelings for you, but you can control your own actions and mindset. Instead of chasing her affection, focus on being a man of value, a man who is strong in his purpose, secure in his identity, and patient enough to let things unfold naturally. Give her time to experience your presence, to feel your absence, and to recognize your worth. When she does, the feelings will develop on their own. And when a woman truly feels for you, She invests not because she's pressured, but because she genuinely wants to. And that kind of love, built on patience and authenticity, is the kind that lasts. No, 8. She pushes a little to see who you really are. At some point she will test you. Not necessarily on purpose, but because women need to see how a man handles himself under pressure. Developing feelings isn't an instant process. For a woman it takes time, experience, and a sense of emotional security. And one of the ways she gauges whether you're the right man to invest those feelings in is by observing how you handle yourself in different situations. Maybe she'd be distant for a day, just to see if you start chasing her, or if you remain composed. Maybe she casually mentioned another guy in a conversation, not to provoke you, but to see how secure you are in yourself. Maybe she pushed back against something you say, not because she wants to argue, but because she's testing the strength of your conviction. These moments aren't about games. They're about understanding the kind of man you truly are when things aren't going your way. A weak man crumbles under this pressure. He panics when she pulls away, overreacts when she mentions another man, or gets defensive when she challenges him. But a stoic man, he remains unfazed. He understands that a man's strength isn't found in reacting emotionally, but in staying centered regardless of what happens. He doesn't let a single moment define his worth or the course of the relationship. Think about it. Women don't just fall for a man overnight. Attraction might be immediate, but real feelings take time to build. They grow in the presence of consistency, self-control, and emotional stability. A woman might be drawn to your looks or your charm at first, but what keeps her around, what makes her feel something deeper, is your ability to remain grounded. Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." The same holds true in relationships. You can't dictate when or how she develops feelings for you, nor can you control the subtle tests she puts you through, but you can control your response. When she sees that you don't break under pressure, that you don't seek constant reassurance, or react emotionally, she starts to view you differently. She begins to trust you, respect you, and in time, desire you on a level far beyond surface attraction. Because true connection isn't built on fleeting emotions, it's built on resilience, consistency, and an unshakable sense of self. It's not about pretending to be indifferent. It's about truly being secure in yourself. When a woman sees that you don't crumble under pressure, that you don't let external things dictate your internal peace, that's when she starts to feel something real. Because at the end of the day, women don't fall for men who seek their approval. They fall for men who are already whole without it. No, 9. That feeling of "this feels right." By now, if things have progressed naturally, a woman will start feeling that sense of ease around you, and that's where the foundation of real feelings begins. Love isn't just about excitement, it's about peace. That initial rush of attraction might spark interest, but it's the deep, unshaken sense of comfort that turns interest into something real. If she feels like she can be herself around you without judgment, that's when her feelings truly begin to take root. Think about it. When is anyone ever falling in love with someone who makes them feel uneasy? A woman develops feelings when she senses a steady, unwavering energy from a man. This isn't about grand gestures or constantly proving yourself. It's about consistency, about showing up as a man who isn't swayed by emotions. One who remains calm even when things don't go his way. That's Stoicism in action. As Epictetus wisely said, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. If you let every little thing shake you, how can she trust you to be a steady presence in her life? A man who has control over his emotions, who remains unshaken by external chaos, creates an environment where a woman feels safe, both physically and emotionally. It's in that safety, in that sense of certainty, that her feelings begin to grow, not because you force them, but because she naturally gravitates toward the peace you embody. Think of it like water. If a woman meets a man who is unpredictable, easily shaken, and emotionally erratic, it's like standing by a stormy sea, exciting at first but exhausting in the long run. But if she stands by a calm, steady river, she finds herself drawn to it, trusting its flow, knowing that even when storms come, it remains constant. A woman will start developing feelings when she sees that steadiness in you. Imagine she's had a rough day. The world has thrown chaos her way. Work stress, misunderstandings, maybe even some self-doubt creeping in. If you react to her emotions by getting flustered or trying to fix things, immediately you're adding to the noise. But if you listen, remain composed, and let her feel understood, that's when she starts to realize she can lean on you. And that realization, that's when feelings start to grow. A woman's emotions don't work on a fixed timeline. Some take weeks, some take months. But the key is always the same: consistency and emotional steadiness. Not forcing, not rushing. Just being, because the man who remains true to himself, no matter what, becomes the man she doesn't just like, but trusts, and once she trusts you, feelings follow. No, 10 love or just a phase. Not every spark turns into a fire, and not every attraction becomes love, and that's okay. Feelings don't operate on a fixed schedule. A woman might feel drawn to you instantly, or it might take weeks, even months for something deeper to develop. And sometimes it never does. That's the nature of emotions. They ebb and flow, influenced by experience, timing, and even things she may not fully understand herself. A Stoic man understands this. He doesn't waste energy trying to control how fast, or even if a woman develops feelings for him. He knows his role isn't to force emotions, but simply to be his best self. Imagine planting a seed. You water it, give it sunlight, and let nature take its course. You don't stand over it every day, demanding it to grow faster. Love, attraction, connection, these things develop in their own time, if they're meant to at all. Now you might be wondering, how long does it really take for a woman to develop feelings? The truth is, there's no single answer. Some women feel emotionally connected within a few dates, while others take months before trust and affection truly settle in. And some may never reach that point. But what matters is this: no amount of effort, persuasion, or chasing will speed up that process. In fact, desperation and impatience often do the opposite. They push her away. That's why the Stoic man moves differently. He shows up with confidence, not attachment. He is present in the moment, enjoying the connection without fixating on where it's going or how fast it's moving. He doesn't hinge his happiness on whether or not she falls for him, because his sense of self isn't dependent on her emotions, and that gives him a rare kind of power. While other men might overthink every text, analyze every interaction, and stress over whether she likes them back, the Stoic man simply allows things to unfold. He knows that if it's real, it will grow naturally, and if not, he lets it go, not with resentment, but with understanding. Because love isn't something you extract from someone. It's not a prize to be won or a code to crack. It's an organic connection that must be felt freely, not coerced. And when you carry yourself with that mindset, with patience, confidence, and an unshakable sense of self-worth, you create the space for genuine attraction to grow, not through force but through presence, not through chasing, but by simply being the kind of man she wants to feel something for. So let go of the need for control. Stop worrying about how long it takes. Instead, focus on being a man of depth, purpose, and emotional stability. When the right woman meets you, she won't need to be convinced to feel something. She feel it naturally, and that's the only kind of love worth having. So what's the real takeaway here? Attraction may be instant, but real feelings, they take time, consistency, and a foundation of trust. A woman doesn't fall for a man simply because he's present. She falls for the man who remains steady, composed, and true to himself. If there's one lesson from Stoicism that applies here, it's this. You cannot control the timeline of someone else's emotions, but you can control the kind of man you are in the process. The key isn't chasing her feelings or trying to force a connection. It's embodying the qualities that naturally draw her in. Over time, so instead of overanalyzing every interaction, focus on what you can control. Stay patient, stay grounded. If the connection is meant to grow, it will without pressure, without force, but through the quiet power of presence. Now I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you noticed how a woman's feelings develop over time? What has your experience been with patience and attraction? Drop a comment below and share your perspective. I read every one of them, and if you found value in this, hit that like button to let me know. And don't forget to subscribe for more content on relationships, attraction, and the Stoic mindset. Also check out the recommended videos on the screen for more insights that will change the way you see attraction and emotional connection. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.